Okay. Hi. I'm gonna do this part fast, the talking part. So, I have work in like 4-ish, 3.5 hours. So, yeah, so I'm trying to do this fast. I feel like I'm cutting it close a little bit. Overall, we will be fine. I don't remember how long this case is, which going into that, I have played the first 2 cases of the first game with friends. That was like 2-3 years ago. Not 3. I can find out right now, actually. 2021. Wow. Yeah, no, it was 3 years ago. Crazy. So, I remember very few things. I remember this first case, and I remember characters of the second case. That's about it. I don't remember who did it in the second one. I know who did it in the first one. Also, I have a minty taste in my mouth that I hate. I don't know if I need to say that, but I'm just trying to fill the time. I don't know. Let's play the fucking game. I also haven't opened it yet to check volumes and stuff, so this is literally my first time opening the game. Hold on, let me ask Johnny. Where is Johnny? I need you to come in again. Smile. Okay, let me... Oh, it is tiny. It is tiny. Auto. This one. Language set to English. It is small. That is small. I was not expecting it to be small. That is a small, small window. System. Okay. English. What did I do? Oh, God. Nope. I don't want to look at that. Sorry. Yeah. Checking for downloadable... Oh, because I pre-ordered. Oh, that's... Okay, that's the actual volume of this. Johnny's getting mad at me. L, I guess. It is audio, man. Johnny's getting mad at me because I need help. Can I make the screen bigger, or is it just kind of... Yeah, there we go. Let me make this bigger. Let me just do this. And then just, at that point... Hold on, wait. At that point, just make it... I can only make it borderless? I mean, sure, yeah. Is it still showing up? Lower the volume down a little bit. Gotcha. I'm gonna do that in-game because it's a little loud for me. Let's try here. Is that good? Test me. Am I loud enough for you? Sounds better. Okay, then we're gonna run with it. We're gonna run with it. Oh yeah, I'm using controller because I don't like these games on... Whoa! Oh yeah, I forgot you could swap to the pixel art. I'm not doing that. But thanks for the offer. Alright, here we go. We're going right into it. You're too loud for me, as always. Why are you so mean? Hey, I get an achievement for playing the game with the HD character. I get an achievement for playing with the HD characters? That's your default. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Okay, bye, I'm resting it. Yeah, rest up. He's sick. To make sure the defendant is found guilty. What other choice do I have? Oh, I thought this was... that's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That's not Edgeworth, is it? That may be true, but why... Yeah, it's not Edgeworth. Why go this far? I feel like it. Oh, that's the... Okay. Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. We have this slow... Oh! No matter what the cost. Oh, in Edgeworth's room? Oh. Cool. I'm a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. Cool, man. March 14th, 2:05 a.m., Prosecutor's Building, 12th floor hallway. Can I up the text speed here, or am I just fucked? Can I up the... I can't even go to a menu yet, so we're just... this is how we are for now. Alright, Edgeworth voice. I feel like just kinda... It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. Yeah, that fits. That fits. That works, yeah. I hope Detective Gumshoe has been keeping an eye on my office and keeping it clean. The door is unlocked. I'm very excited to play this. And then I also know nothing about the second game, so that's gonna be fun. I honestly know nothing about this series past Case 2, really. And even then, that's a stretch. Detective Gumshoe? Huh? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? Oh, the classic. The classic OST. Oh my god, it's so animated. What the? Dead. What's the meaning of this?
Oh, what?
Oh, that's him. Freeze. Ooh. Is that him? Identify yourself. No. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in the prosecutor's office. My fucking jacket! Asshole! Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. I'm gonna back away. He just leaves? He just fucks off? Okay. What the fuck is it's just that's the location. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrusted into a multitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m., High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Oh, whoa, they got like the Silver Samurai. That's sick. And his jacket from the old game, which I knew that was a set piece. I knew that part, but still. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir! Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir! To your gun, or to the gun wound in your jacket. My fucking jacket. Ah! Oh, it's Gumshoe! my beloved Gumshoe, I love him so much. I want him back. Anyways, how the fuck do I voice him? This is gonna be interesting for me. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. Well, I heard that a murder had taken place in your office. I ran up here straight away. I guess, kind of. I don't know. It sounds like a fucked up J-Schlatt, but we're gonna move on. That's kind of the vibe I'm gonna give him, I guess, is fucked up J-Schlatt. This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However, my fucking jacket. God, look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! This is not a good voice for him, but that's just what we're gonna have to do. At least for this stream, that's what it's gonna have to be. I don't have time to workshop a voice. I'll say, the culprit sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa! Sounds like you're getting burned up over this whole thing! The crime was committed in my office, so it is my responsibility to solve it. Ho ho! That's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth! Okay, time to do some investigating! Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we... Oh, I didn't see the comma. Shit. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? There's a something. Crime scene, my office. Is it really coincidence that the murder took place in my office? Ooh, I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Evidence, profile, that's the victim. We don't know his name or his age, but that's him. That's him, alright. Look at Gumshoe, he's 32, crazy. Alright, keep in mind. What was the left bumper though? Something showed up for never mind.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you?
No, not really. Especially because of this.
The key to your office?
The key to my office. See, let me go to left bumper. It only lets me go right bumper. Asshole.
What do you mean, sir?
If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. I still love, like, Phoenix's superpower is, like, unlocking trauma. Apollo's is seeing your, like, your fucking nervous tics when you're lying. Athena is literally reading the emotions of your heart. And then Edgeworth is like, he has a brain. It's the best thing ever.
Logic? The fuck is that, sir?
By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. No one in the Ace Attorney universe has ever had logic, except for Edgeworth, who has lost in his fucking so many times in his career because of Phoenix, who hasn't had logic, allegedly.
So how do you use it?
First, I recall the information we've gathered with left bumper on my Xbox One controller, and then I connect them together with Y on my Xbox One controller. Allow me to show you. Now, to use left bumper on my Xbox One controller and recall the facts. Oh, that's, okay. Crime scene, my office, and that. Yep, yeah, connect them. Yay, I did doing things my way for successfully making a connection during logic without something it cut off. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. 'Cause no shit. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss this location of this crime scene as mere coincidence.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir.
There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? The killer's goal. Why he do that?
You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir.
Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Cool. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we?
Yes, sir!
Begin investigation. That's cool. Hi, prosecutor's office. I don't need to do that again.
The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir.
I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply use A on my Xbox One controller when I'm next to it.
Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just use Y, okay, on your Xbox One controller. I'll give you great precise advice as an ace investigator, sir.
Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Let's start with this, the actual fucking body. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Let's start with the blood in his hand. Let's see here. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. That's not what I clicked. That's not what Edgeworth, that's not the abdominal area, that's the hand.
It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir.
In other words, he was shot. No fucking shit.
Yep. Yeah, that's what that means, yeah.
And until the autopsy, it's like the Avengers Endgame. It's like, yes, that's what bullet passed clean through his stomach area means. It's like, all right.
Yep, and until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that.
Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Crime scene notes. Bullet went clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 a.m.
Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir?
Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Up here in my little noggin.
All right, if you say so.
I don't trust my little noggin. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. Okay. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to press right bumper on my Xbox One controller to open my organizer. It's not a court record, because... I see. Okay. But the organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it, too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Bitch, this ain't my first Ace Attorney. Oh, they check mark it. Thank God. I forgot if that was a feature in this one. What do we have here?
Hey, I think I've seen one of these before.
It's a police badge, detective. Oh my fucking God.
Oh, hey! I have that exact same thing, actually. What a coinky dink.
Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. Interesting. Detective? My fucking books.
Your files are all over the floor, sir.
They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. Signs of a struggle.
Aw, I tried so hard to keep this place spotless when you were away. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless.
I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room.
Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled.
Does he have a life? Maybe you are his life. This is just books. Oh. Wait, I meant to click on the thing below it. Right.
I don't believe it. I packed those files on the shelves so tight that not even an earthquake can make them fall off. But just look at them. At this rate, the rest of the files won't be able to withstand an earthquake at all.
A problem, to be sure. Well, once the investigation is over, we'll put them back up on the shelf. But there's a little something. What? Are we not going to talk about how it says... That says gumshoe. Hey, Dick, my friend. Can we talk for a second? Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so close. Can we talk for a second? What the fuck? The fuck is up with you, man? That has so much. Okay, the killer's goal, signs of a struggle. Maybe the killer's goal was he was a detective, like something to do with him being a detective. Did that work? No. Well, can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. Cool. All right. Well, I just wanted to try. Can I go upstairs? Can I go up? No. Okay.
Watch out for the teacup fragments there, sir.
The killer is going to pay. This tea set.
Yikes, you're really mad over this.
This tea set is very dear to my heart and can only be bought in England. Costs more than your whole month's paycheck.
What?
I don't think that's much after all the pay cuts you gave him in the first game.
I feel like the killer's wasting one of my monthly paychecks.
Oh, that wasn't anything. All right, let's look at the... Hey, can we look at the... Sorry, sir. I hope we can solve this case quickly. I'd like to return to relaxing on this sofa.
That thing looks a billion times softer than my mattress at home. Can I sit on it too? Just for a little while, sir?
Detective Gumshoe, you know I can't allow that. Until this case is solved, neither of us have time to spare, let alone rest.
You're right, sir. I'm gonna work hard to be a real trooper to the end.
Even once this case is over, I don't think he can afford to take any time off. How is it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. Fingerprint lifting is a delicate art. Well, I never. Jackass? Oh, there's a gun here. We should have probably looked at the... Hey. How you doing out there, audience? Let's talk. Okay. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here.
I think I've seen one of these before. I think it's a gun.
Care to enlighten me as to where? Also, the text box being up here is distracting.
Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think.
Detective...
I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're real dangerous. Now that I think about it, do you see this model around the precinct? You do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it.
So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of information. Now to calmly use some logic to figure out any of them are connected to each other. Okay. Well, then I think the thing is... Victim was a detective and revolver, because it's his gun, right? That's the idea. There we go. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time?
Yes, sir! On it now, sir! Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! This guy's wearing a gun holster!
So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Victim's revolver data jotted down in my organizer. It can be assumed that this gun is the murder weapon. It was issued to the victim. Let's see what we can find out about this revolver.
As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. I need water.
There's a horse on it.
You can use right stick on your... I'm gonna stop doing this bit. To rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use left bumper and right bumper to zoom in and out and get at the nitty gritty.
All right. The immediate thing I'm looking at is the horse, but I'm not allowed to look at the horse. Oh, how many bullets are left in it? Looks like only one round was fired from this.
Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
We've no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility.
That's all we got from that.
Okay. I guess this is about all we're going to find. We should send the body to Oh, is this the
Jim! Get the fuck out of my way, dude! Why, oh why? How could this have happened to a guy like you?
His name was Buddy. Are you alright?
Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be!
Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body.
The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh! Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure. Just in a bloodstained suit, pal.
Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor?
Why, yes I am. I'm... Jaquise Portsman? How the fuck? Jaquez? Portsman, prosecutor? Jim here was my partner in crime busting.
I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I am also a prosecutor.
Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir.
So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that is correct.
Then it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal! Just calm down, okay? I will not! I know how things work around here.
High prosecutor's office doors are all have locks built into them.
And only the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office.
That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner.
Yeah! Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. So it was you, then! You're Jim's killer! No way, pal! You've got it all wrong! Everyone calm down. I'm calm. Look at this smile. Does this smile look uncalm to you? Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know to stay collected. Your investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know? Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. That's all you get. You guys were conducting your investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there! Sir! Portsman just dap me up! I want you to capture this scene on film for me. My final farewell to my partner, Jim. Are we for real? Are we for real right now? I should probably give them some space. I want to talk to him, though. I want to talk to him. Mr. Portsman, a word, if I may. Jim, I swear I'll find your killer and bring them to justice. You wait and see. It'll be for the both of us. Now then, you want to talk to me about something? No, that's all right. I think I'm interrupting their conversation. Oh. Oh, so they even knocked over your chess set. I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. Figured we could play for a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose I can set some time aside after we solve the case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. I've never seen that word. Can we talk? Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir! Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir! Yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction! Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Is it him? How's it coming along? Please, I need absolute silence. This picture is too important to mess up. I'll leave the man to his art. What am I missing? Oh, I guess I can look at this now that he's, yeah. Your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing a round. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket that you made your prosecutorial, that's a big word, prosecutorial debut in? What if they had shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? Take a look. Where'd I get take a look from? Where'd I get that from? I think I'm stupid. I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There is a giant contradiction right here in front of it. Oh, one bullet was fired, 2 gunshots. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. What, Phoenix? You can say his fucking name. I hate Capcom sometimes. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction, which is the... Oh, okay, you didn't even let me click it. This is it. The bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something that's off, I should point my cursor and press Y with conviction. With conviction! And when I have found the sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it!
This is how I do things. Gun have 1 bullet shot. Eureka! I forgot about Eureka. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame.
Hey, that's right! Yeah, that's how counting works.
However, this gun was only fired once.
And that's true too.
Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? Uh-huh.
By the way, I've noticed something, sir.
Yes?
What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame?
Ah, that. It's a secret safe.
A secret safe? Oh, I smell money.
I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way...
Roger that! Talk about dusty.
I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while.
I had no idea there was a safe here. I would have kept it clean for you, sir. So, when did you put this thing in?
It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one.
Really? I had no idea.
Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence.
So, what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth?
Right now, nothing. We only use them to store especially important evidence when a trial is in session.
That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams.
Secret safe, each prosecutor has one in their office, only they know them. Won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. Are we just gonna keep saying that every time? There's a little smudge here. Huh? Now this is odd.
Found something, sir?
This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Oh, the keypad. Yeah, the keypad's clean, whereas everything else around it is kind of smudged as fuck.
Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself.
You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. Wiped fingerprints. Okay. Secret safe data updated in my organizer. As I thought. It appears that logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly connect the dots with the information we have. Calmly. And it has that big... Okay, so white fingerprints and... I guess that would be the only... That's the only way I could think of it possibly connecting. Don't know why wiped fingerprints would have anything to do with another handgun or a sign of a struggle, so I guess it's just the killer's goal, right? Okay. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after.
Well, what is it, sir?
The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe, making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. Okay, motive theft. The victim's gun I found. Could there be another? I mean, that doesn't really do anything. Oh! Maybe he put the gun in the... But no, he wouldn't... The files are a mess pointing to a struggle between the victim and the killer. I doubt that has anything to... I guess? I don't really know if that really means anything. Yeah, I kind of figured. So then motive and signs of a struggle, but I don't really see how that applies. I'm gonna do it anyways, but... Really? There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. You've lost me, I'll say that.
Oh, you mean like it could be from the killer... From when the killer tried to find something, sir?
Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen.
Yes, sir, I'm gonna shelf files like you've never seen before, even at a library.
Sure. Let's give that a try.
Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth.
Not really, no. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it! Here, let me help! So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal! Okay, done!
It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here.
The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh.
I suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. But the wounds in that file.
And the guy fell onto the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out.
Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now.
You know I'm no good with blood, sir.
I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. The gunshot wound being down here? So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? Oh, that was Gumshoe, whatever. Stop doing an impression of me. For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file's spine indicates that the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred.
And I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way.
But that's on the floor.
The victim's handprints.
He must have tried to support himself with his hands after being shot. There are prints on the floor too. Well, that doesn't line up. That doesn't logically line up. Why are the handprints up there when the gunshot wound is down there? That doesn't make sense. Those must have been made when, unable to stay standing, he dropped to the floor. But no, because then the thing. No, that doesn't line up. Spots are not connected to any of the evidence I hold. Maybe not. That's just... Let me look at my logic stuff. I literally just have there is another handgun. Cool. Can I investigate? The killer moved the body because it was leaning against the bookshelf.
Blood on this guy's pants proves that pretty well.
In a sense, I suppose.
See? It's not complete. I'm not completely useless.
See, there's stuff over here I want to read.
I put them all back just as they should be, sir. Doesn't look like anything's missing.
Although it does look like the killer moved the body to flip through my shelves. I wonder if they found what they were looking for. Okay, that applies to every book. See, the thing that's really... Okay, let's get this. It appears that the victim was in the sitting position here after being shot.
Oh, that's why the seat of the victim's pants has blood on it.
That would be the logical conclusion. Okay. What if I just save out of fear? Out of fear of being wrong. Because that absolute... It's one of these. Oh, okay. This is clearly where the contradiction lies. Never mind. I don't really see what's wrong with that spot. Okay, what the fuck then? Why? Okay, hold on. This through line's a little weird. Because they're claiming... So this is where the bullet lodged after it went through the victim, huh? The bullets lodged squarely in the file spine indicates that after the shooting had occurred. But they said it was when he was standing up. See, this is what I don't get. What do I have? Issued to the victim and believed to be the murder weapon. Okay. Oh, good. I can look at the prosecutor's badge. That's necessary. See, I'm confused now. Because... Am I supposed to deduce about this? No. Why is this already stumping me? How stupid am I? Don't answer that. But like... Maybe it's this, and then the thing of it going through the victim's abdomen. Okay. There we go. We figured it out. So I was right, because they were saying, like, yeah, he died when he was standing up, but then this is in the bottom floor, so it's like, what the fuck are we talking about? There's clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. For the victim... If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot, which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... What does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused the position of the body? The position of the files. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong. Oh? Yeah! You see here how the files that were shot begin with the number O? With the number 0? God damn, whatever. Some people say O for 0, whatever. What are those doing all the way down there after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they are organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they are arranged a little differently. But from this, we know that the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption you just did, detective. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Ah, makes a lot more sense. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. The killer went through my files before shooting Mr. Faith, and then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Oh, that was... I'm really tired of you doing an impression of me, Gumshoe. Exactly, and then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice, once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Okay. There must be some reason as to why the victim's body was moved, but there's no time to ponder that now. Let us continue with our investigation, Detective. Roger that, sir! I'm raring to go! Was that first one also... No, that was... Okay, that was how that should be. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. And we figured out what the killer went through... And we figured out that the killer went through your bookshelf twice! Indeed. There are many things the killer did that don't make sense. But to figure out the whys, we need more information. Like this. This. What is that? Why does it say Gumshoe on there in blood? I'd say that's some incredibly incriminating evidence. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. No, wait! There's gotta be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen.
Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation?
Is this what the killer was really after? OH is gone. One of the files were written up in blood was stolen by the culprit. Oh, that's it? Oh, and my bar regen's cool. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you are going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope that you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they're more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it! I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude, and there must be some sort of flaw to his logic waiting for me to dig it out.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do?
What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with his technique.
Oh! How do you do that? Can you explain to me, sir?
Fuck it, might as well. Actually, I'm on a time crunch. Why'd I click that? Alright, first I listen to the witness's testimony. If I find a flaw in the testimony, something that contradicts the evidence, I open my organizer with right bumper and present the piece of contradictory evidence. To present something, I simply use Y, but that's old news.
But it's not like there's gonna be a flaw in their testimony every time, right?
Correct. And at those times, I need to press the witness with left bumper. Sometimes by pressing, I can draw out new information and/or a modified testimony.
I think I get it, sir. I'll be sure to try this technique out during investigations, too.
Very well. I'll even show you how it's done. Now watch carefully. Here we go. Mr. Portsman's logic. Detective Gumshoe, you stole Jim's gun from him and shot him dead. Furthermore, I already know the contradiction. You don't have to keep talking. I already know the problem with your logic, man. We can wrap this up quick. Alright. Furthermore, you messed up the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding. And it will be by his final words that you will be brought to justice. You intend to argue that the victim's dying message points to his killer. I can hear Jim's voice and he's calling for his killer's arrest. Are you sure you're not mishearing his words, Mr. Portsman? There's no way Detective Gumshoe is the culprit here. We'll find the flaw in this man's logic and expose it with credible evidence. Rebuttal. Detective Gumshoe stole Jim's gun. No, he didn't. We already found out. The victim... Wait, issued to the victim. Oh, never mind. I don't know. Stole Jim's gun from him. Shot him dead. Never mind. Wait, there's more to this. Furthermore, you messed with the files to make it look like you had committed theft instead. That's when you moved Jim's body that was sitting in front of the bookshelf. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters left his body. It will be his final words that you will be brought to... Okay, I'm just gonna... Hold it! You know, there's something I've been meaning to ask. Huh? What is it? Why do you call the victim Jim, when clearly his name is Buddy Faith? Isn't it obvious? Jim is the perfect name for my companion. What? Jaquise and Jim. Don't those two names go together like peanut butter and jelly? But Jim isn't even close to the guy's real name. Well, Jaquise and Buddy, it just sounds off somehow. Besides, he was the third of a bunch of guys I decided to nickname Jim. Talks about the victim like he was his pet. Cool, so you're like just really nice to be around. Messed with the files to make it look like you committed theft instead.
Hold it!
Do you really think it was necessary to dishevel my shelves twice to do that? That's true. Okay, then maybe his real intent was theft. Hey, you accusing me of stealing something from Mr. Edgeworth? It's a possibility. Maybe your salary's been cut so much that life is getting a little too rough to handle.
I'll have you know that I eat 3 square meals every day, pal. Okay, so all 3 of them happen to be instant noodles, but...
Poor thing. What an evil prosecutor you were paired up with. And what a motive, no? I get it. Okay. Move Jim's body that was sitting in the front of the bookshelf. Why am I not piecing this together?
Hold it!
I'm just gonna press everything because I'm really not getting this. And why would Detective Gumshoe do such a thing? Because the body was getting in his way. He had to mess up your bookshelf somehow, right? Anyway, that's it. But thanks to that, you didn't notice the bloody letters his body was hiding.
Hold it!
Why do you think that the killer didn't notice the bloody letters? The body was covering it quite well, wouldn't you say? That's how he missed it. But judging by what I've seen, it doesn't take much for your detective to miss something.
Who do you think you are? You know nothing about me, pal.
Wow, that took me a sec. There's a lot a person can understand about another from a first impression alone. Can't say I disagree with him on that point.
Why don't you say something, sir? Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Despite his lack of attention to detail, I don't believe the detective to be the culprit. Nobody could have overlooked the bloody letters, and I can prove it with evidence. I couldn't ask for a better setup for the game-finishing spike. Wait, so that's the one, but thanks to that you didn't notice the bloody letters.
Oh, because they stole it.
Objection!
Yeah, they stole it. You're really dumb. Perhaps you're not aware, Mr. Portsman, but there is a serious flaw in your logic. Bringing a bit of the courtroom into this, I see. No problem, I'm game. I can't help but find it odd. Excuse me? Odd that a fellow prosecutor would be brought down by the power of his own office.
What are you talking about? Oh, you're joking. I get it.
If you have the time to laugh, then you have the time to take another closer look at this. Do you still not see? If not, may I direct your attention to the missing file?
What? That's impossible.
What's impossible, Mr. Portsman? Nothing. The files on that shelf are all about a certain case. When the killer went to take the file after murdering your partner, I highly doubt they could have missed the bloody letters written on the spine.
Objection!
Oh, he has an objection line. What the fuck? I wasn't expecting that. Objection!
It's possible that they could have taken the file before committing the murder.
I think it's pretty obvious that the file was stolen after it was written on, you fucking ignoramus. The missing letters in the detective's name where the file should be is proof.
Yeah, I mean the S is gone and that's only half an H.
If Detective Gumshoe really was the culprit of this case, I highly doubt that even he could overlook his own name written in blood on the files, especially as a detective who can't stand the sight of blood.
Which means what exactly? What does that make this dying message?
It makes it the work of a criminal intent on tampering with the crime scene.
That's so low! I can't believe the criminal tried to pin this whole thing on me, sir! I'm gonna get him, sir, you'll see! I'm gonna have them under arrest in no time!
Well, Mr. Portsman...
Brilliant! Absolutely splendid! Logic deserving an Olympic gold!
I appreciate the praise, but it doesn't change the fact that your reasoning is flawed.
Nah, you win some and you lose some. That's how life goes. Glad everyone's so cheery, even though I feel more dead than alive.
Ah, but you know, it really is a shame. I really didn't want to have to bring this up. However...
What is it this time? You still after me, pal?
Humor me for a second. Who has the key to this office?
That would be me! But Mr. Edgeworth just proved that I'm innocent, pal!
Oh, jacket. No jacket. Jacket.
That's absolutely right, and I acknowledge your innocence.
Then why do I sense that you still have something to say? 'Cause he does. What are you doing? Well, I was thinking, did you know there is one other person with a key to this office? One other person? Oh.
Hey, you there! Yes, sir! What is it, sir?
Would you kindly fetch and escort the lovely young lady here for me? A lady? The girl is a member of this building's security. Think of her as a material witness.
Security? You said security? No, stop it, pal, don't!
What's wrong with him all of a sudden? Oh! I believe she needs no introduction. I have called upon Miss Maggie Bird, a member of security. We got Maggie? Why the fuck?
Detective Gumshoe, sir? Maggie!
Miss Bird is the security guard on watch tonight. I see. And your point is... My point is that she could very well have used it. And by it, I mean the master key, which can open all the office doors in this building.
What?
If you are not the guilty party, Detective Gumshoe, then the only other person with access to this room is Miss Bird.
How dare you? I would never sneak into someone's room.
I have no idea what voice to give Maggie. That's gonna have to work, I guess.
That's right. I refuse to believe that Maggie's the culprit, pal. It was me. That's right, I did it.
That's not a good, can we take that as a confession, Detective?
Well, it wasn't really me, but it definitely wasn't Maggie, pal.
Maggie? That wasn't even like a misreading thing. My mouth did not make the shape I wanted it to make.
So yeah, it was me. If it was, you'd have no problem with that, right?
Please refrain from flying off the handle, Detective. There's no need for such theatrics. Hold on. Listen to your boss, Detective. He understands what I'm saying here. Make up your fucking mind! I'm getting sick of him taking off the jacket and putting it on and taking it off and putting it on. That girl is the Stop! Oh, great. That's just your sprite. That's just what you do? Great. That girl is the only one who could have committed the crime, and for one simple reason. Oh. Reason for suspicion. Pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe isn't the one who opened the door, then that leaves only Miss Bird as your prime suspect, or whatever. On top of which, she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable that she was the one who faked the dying message. So you're saying she used the master key? Master key, this can open every office door. Its use is controlled by security staff. Okay. Incredibly incriminating evidence, wouldn't you say? That's what you claimed about the evidence earlier as well. That was then, this is now. The flow of a good match always changes during a rally. It's all about your reflexes and reaction time, especially for an athlete like me. I wonder if there was anyone else other than Miss Bird who could have used the master key. Seems that the only way to get Mr. Portsmouth to give me more details is to press him. Okay. Then let's do that. It's pretty obvious Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. Why is it obvious? Elaborate. Are you sure Miss Bird is the only member of security who could have used the master key? There's only one person on staff at this time of night, and tonight, she's it. Isn't that right, Miss Bird? That's, true, but I was just able to use the master key I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, moving on. I'd hate to get sidetracked by something unrelated.
What do you mean unrelated? I want to hear what she has to say, pal.
Well, you can't really trust her not to tell lies. Plus, I hate wasting time. Should I hear Miss Bird out? Yes, absolutely. What the fuck? Not so fast. I, too, am interested in hearing what Miss Bird has to say. Didn't I just say to be a waste of time? We don't need to hear her lies. I'll be the judge of that. Miss Bird, if you please. There we go. I discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m., sir. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Mr. Portsman, I believe this to be an important piece of testimony, don't you? I can't believe that someone like you would be taken in by such words. I'm not lying, sir. Objection. If that's the case, then I'd like to know why you have the master key now. I don't quite know. Just reappeared all of a sudden, sir. Ha! A likely story. And where is your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? I bet you just forgot where you put it and then found it again.
I never lose things, I can practically guarantee that. With me, if something disappears, it's usually because someone stole it.
Yeah, pal. Trust me, you don't want to test just how bad her luck is. Why are you over here? Unfortunately, I can't deem this piece of testimony as conclusive. Glad you agree, Mr. Edgeworth.
But you still haven't established Maggie's motive for breaking into Mr. Edgeworth's office.
Her motive? Didn't we already establish that it was theft? I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is as Mr. Portman says, Detective. Can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft. But I'm done taking blows. It's time to counterattack with a few facts of my own. Her intent from the messed up shelves to... I mean, that's right, but I'm gonna press it anyways. I concur that the culprit's motive appears to have been thievery. However, glad to hear that the great Miles Edgeworth is in agreement with little old me. However, with regard to the investigation of the bookshelves and safe... Hey, good thinking! Ask for an opinion on the matter. Would it be too much for you to allow me to complete a full sentence? Oh, that's the end of that. I mean, if Detective Gumshoe wasn't the one who opened the door...
Hold it!
I'm gonna just press it. I'm just pressing everything. I thought we had established Detective Gumshoe innocence pretty thoroughly. It was just a theory, one hypothesis among the many possibilities. I mean, I had my doubts about Miss Bird from the very beginning. If that's the case, then why didn't you mention her first? Now, don't make that face. See, there goes the truth, running the other way. Let's pick up the pace and see if we can catch up to it. I don't think you're catching my drift. But we are in agreement that the detective isn't the killer, right? If so, then I hope you'll understand when I say... Say what, asshole? That since she is the only one who could have opened the office door... Bird is our prime suspect. I mean, I still gotta press, I'm sure. Top of what she knows our good detective, doesn't she? Making it all the more probable. Okay. Well, let's just do that first. Don't you think it's a bit early to be jumping to conclusions? Are you saying there's another way to open the door other than with the master key? Oh, I get it. Perhaps you had a spare made for someone else. I'll have you know I have never made a spare, so what are you insinuating? Nothing. Guess I should have known better than to suggest that someone like you would. It's real awesome. Alright, on top of that, she knows our good detective. Is there anyone in this district who hasn't at least heard of Detective Gumshoe? Good point. He's practically a celebrity among us prosecutors. Really? I never knew I was so talked about, sir. We're holding our collective breath, you know. For when you screw up so badly that you're literally chased off the force. Wait, what? Is that true, Mr. Edgeworth? Of course not. That's hogwash. Phew. Don't scare me like that. I almost had a heart attack there. Cool.
Hold it!
By dying message, you mean the bloody letters that spell out Gumshoe. I figured that whoever wrote his name must have wanted to frame him. And just the act of choosing his name is proof enough that the two knew each other well. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and present some evidence! I would love to, but first we should listen a bit more and digest what he's saying, and press him for more information. I pressed everything.
Hold it!
Did I not press everything? You sure Miss Bird is the only member of security with the master key? There's only one person to staff at the time of night, and tonight she's it. It's alright, Miss Bird, that's right, true, but I wasn't able to use the master key at the time of the crime, sir. Wasn't able to. What's that supposed to mean? Discovered that the master key was missing at around 1 a.m. What do you mean by missing? As in, it wasn't anywhere in the security booth, sir. The killer must have stolen it. Objection. Unlikely story. Where's your proof that the key was stolen to begin with? But you just forgot where you put it and then found it again. Okay, it didn't give me the option. I thought it was like... What did you motive? We already established that it was there. I mean, the culprit clearly went through the bookshelves and at least tried the safe. It is his Mr. Portman. I can't ignore the fact that all the evidence points towards a motive of theft, but I'm done taking blows. It's time to counteract with a few facts of my own. Pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into the room using the master key.
No, that's not what I meant to... Fuck. I thought Y was the... I thought that was the look at it button. It's the master key to every office in the building. That's it. Great. Cool. Glad I wasted my fucking time looking at it. Like, we never told him about that. How does he know about that? We already looked at the gun. I think that it's so easy to take a life with just the pull of a trigger. You know, I can't ever see myself really liking guns. Oh, but I love the ones they use to track and field to start races. If you take off before it's fired, everybody always ends up following your lead. Chase you down for a false start, detective. Now that you mention it, even when I finish first, I always wind up in last place. Great, that was really important information there. Hey man, that is weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know. I don't really know, because... God, nothing. Let's move on. Doesn't like you at all, sir. Concentrate. That was careless of me. I can't afford to do that, or the truth will slowly slip away. Remain calm, Miles. It's the only way. Okay, shut up for a sec. It's pretty obvious that Miss Bird snuck into your room using the master key. Oh, only prosecutors are supposed to know about this.
Objection!
There we go. It took me a bit. God damn it. Do you wish to continue insisting that Miss Bird was set on stealing something? Why not? It's the truth after all. It was also by your logic that we came to the whole thievery conclusion anyway. That may be, but you must also be aware of the fact that the safe is a secret safe, the existence of which is only privy to prosecutors. Ah! I find it a little hard to believe that a hidden safe was part of her cunning plan. But she could have found it by accident while she was turning everything else upside down. I highly doubt that. I'd say the culprit knew exactly what they were looking for. After all, the only bookshelf and the safe were targeted. Yeah, even I didn't know about the safe, pal. And that means there's no way Maggie could have known about it either. Then are you proposing that the killer is a prosecutor? Interesting conclusion. That's definitely looking more and more probable. You are sweating bullets, man. You're not making yourself look good. What's wrong, prosecutor? Do you have a different suspect in mind? Curses! Why? What made you? What's with the angry face all of a sudden? It's all my fault! What do you mean? It's Jim. He knew about the existence of the secret safes. What did you just say? We're partners! Like inseparable conjoined twins. I almost said conjured. That's why I told him. I filled him in on the secret safes. Then that means... Yeah, I know. I'd only just told him too. Obviously it was wrong of me to tell him. Still can't quite believe it. But the thief who broke into your room was probably Jim. Now he's claiming that the victim was the thief? And you were simply trying to stop him, weren't you? Miss Maggie Bird. Excuse me? Oh, he's going a different route. I mean, you are a security guard, right? That's your job. But killing is going a bit too far, even in your risky profession. What the? You're still accusing Maggie of the murder? Yes and no. I mean, she had stumbled upon Jim, who had probably drawn his gun. I get it. It was self-defense, wasn't it? No, I couldn't. I could never do something like that, not even as a security guard, sir. Plus, even if he was the thief, he wouldn't have had a key to the office. Which is precisely why he had to steal it, wouldn't you say? So now you believe the stealing? It was Jim who stole the master key. Ah! Pretty impossible for a supposedly stolen key to be here with us unless you retrieved it from Jim after you killed him. Mr. Portsman, are you honestly accusing your own partner of being a thief? I don't want to admit it, but it's the only way for everything else to make sense. Has he no honor? Now then, I think we're done here. The investigation waits for no man. Would you people be so kind as to see yourselves out?
You can't kick us out! This is Mr. Edgeworth's office!
But I'm the one who's been assigned to this case. You're all suspects of varying degrees and therefore ineligible to run this show.
Listen, pal, how many times do I have to say this? Maggie can't be the culprit!
Detective Gumshoe, calm yourself.
But sir!
We have no choice but to accommodate his request. For now. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. At least one of you understands. Now then, if you could remove yourselves from my crime scene, I'd be most grateful. Mark my words, Mr. Portsman. We will meet again. If that's a formal request from the legendary prosecutor himself, then I suppose so. Now, don't disappoint me, you hear? To be continued. But we're gonna keep going, because fuck that. Save your progress. I'm definitely saving my progress, but we're still going. Oh, okay.
March 14th, 4:18 a.m., prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway. What's with that prosecutor? Can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable.
Please maintain your professionalism, detective.
I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir.
But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir.
True. So then what now?
Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyways.
Really, sir?
For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Begin investigation. I immediately saw this. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. This thing.
It's the missing Zero Series file, sir.
No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it as clear as day. Seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was... Oh, why did I think that was Gumshoe? Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So, what are these files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the case within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the high prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
That means the thief must also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to the case from 10 years ago are missing.
I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case.
Is that not relevant information? We got nothing from that, essentially. Basketball. What is a basketball doing here?
That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis.
And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Why are you here? Why is Winston here? What the fuck?
You can say his name is Winston. Fuck you. Looks like you're in quite a pinch, Mr. Edgeworth.
To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find... Yeah, that was Edgeworth. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste.
Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open.
How gracious. I'll keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Oh, that's why it's I mean, that's not why, but... Okay, what about this room? This office. 1203, 1203.
Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again?
It's Mr. Portsman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in a while I was away overseas. Okay. Seriously? Talk to Miss Bird. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning the case.
I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth.
I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing her my notes to her with Y. Alright, let's just talk about these first. Have you ever met the victim before?
Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go with Mr. Portsman's office.
God damn, it's slow.
Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portman, sir.
That sounds like fun! Just once I'd have loved to play with them.
Sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
On second thought, I don't think I'd have to fit in all that well with him. I'd have fit, whatever. Alright, let's talk about Maggie herself. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective.
She was under my supervision back when she was still in the force, sir.
One day, she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Before I was about to clock out for the night.
You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct?
Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building?
How are you alive?
I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I've even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard.
That's a lot to go through in one lifetime.
I know, and just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wound up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck.
You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation.
Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me! I'll do all I can to help!
Cool, let's present the master key to you now. Nope, that's the wrong button. So, when did you discover that the master key was missing?
By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m. And I noticed it was back around 2:30 a.m.
That was at 12:30.
It went back in time. I was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those two times, it was not just gone, but stolen.
Master key was stolen 1 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place?
It's nothing like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room away from the window.
Always, you say. Except for this time, correct?
Well, I admit I was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. Left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge.
She used the master key. Okay. Can I, like... Nope. I can't, like, rotate it. Gotcha. Okay, why'd you use the master key? What did you mean by you used the master key?
Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key.
The cap.
I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Ah!
What is it?
That's right, I just remembered! The prosecutor who forgot his key... It was Mr. Portsman, sir!
What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly! Alright, let's go.
It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir.
And that's when you loaned the master key to me.
No way! It was against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir.
I see.
And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So, in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight.
Talk about suspicious!
I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. This calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Aye, well, let's go do that. The door! I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. I mean, let's start with the door's locked tight.
I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
This is the office of a high prosecutor detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Okay, door itself again, I guess. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portman's office.
Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me, Mr. Portman had actually wanted room 202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth... I don't know why I said it like that, but since you're already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir.
So why was Mr. Portman so particular about getting room 1202?
I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd? Yup, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. But why am I even wasting time thinking about this? Door itself? A minimalist, yet a very classy door made out of top quality wood.
Kind of majestic too. Fits it really well with the ambiance of the prosecutor's office. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. That's fucked up. That's fucked up and funny and basketball hoop.
It's Mr. Portman's personal basketball hoop.
Can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
But you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here.
How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? Is that literally everything here? Because I feel like I've... Uh, 1203... Doesn't even look like there's anything else to really... there's nothing. Doors locked tight. It might be the old credit card trick, and then, yeah. So that didn't. What? Checked. Okay, it's done then. What? Why did we have to? What? What is a basketball hoop doing here?
Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago?
So when and why was it moved indoors?
I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself.
All the way up to the 12th floor? Jesus. Okay. I already checked this area earlier, but it never hurts to take another look. So I checked... Okay, files in disarray, another handgun, use the master key was stolen.
I mean, probably just connect these, right?
Yeah. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story.
What? No way, pal! I mean, sir!
Nah, nice trying to take after Gumshoe. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time.
Wow! Nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw the contradiction like a pro. I totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around the very time that I realized the master key was missing.
And?
Well, I'm a security guard, sir. Couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir.
You pretended?
Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking it up, sir.
So in actuality, you never did relock the door then?
Well, I thought maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly.
Okay, so it's fucking open, so let's go in. Fucking open door. Door's locked tight. Wait, it's locked?
No, not the, nope.
Not that. The keyhole. Miss Bird. Casey contradicts this piece of evidence. No, it doesn't. I don't. Okay. Though I don't really get it myself either. I see. In that case, I'll point out what's wrong once more for the two of you. Since I looked a little harder, I'd find a contradiction slumbering here. I should probably also flip through my organizer one more time. Bullet went through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at 201. Only one shot was fired. I'm gonna save so that I cannot fuck up. But I think so. Deduce and then door, because she couldn't have locked it up. Okay. There's a contradiction here between the reality and the evidence. What if if what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Okay, that's what I figured, but huh? You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? Either it means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. My door was unlocked. I see. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is we need to examine these. Prints on the master key, prints on the doorknob, prints on the number plate. Prints on the number plate. They will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Like, what? Wait, what? No, but that's supposed to be a joke to cheer me up, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, that's it. Now then, we should get back to doing what we need to do, and that is examine prints on the doorknob, I guess? Okay, I thought the prints because he moved the plates. Prints of the doorknobs will tell us everything. Hey, you! Yeah, you, pal! Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, Detective. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portman and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only two people's prints were found on this, huh? Pretty decisive. Huh? I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on the... Are we stupid?
Take that!
Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Okay. It's been updated. Miss Bird said she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob. What have we here? A little slip? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious... Really? We just click on the thing. This looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. It looks like a note from the victim. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone. Looks like you're out. I guess I'll catch up to you later, buddy. Yeah, and it's from Mr. Portsman. Note left by the victim, found under the door for the absent Portsman. Ah. This too. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. Better take note of this. Basketball hoop, it's sitting in front of Mr. Portsman's office. There's signs that it has been moved. And basketball. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir! Wrong person. Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. Doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although, I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this ball. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad, Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Okay, well, that's everything. Oh, door. Minimalistic, very close. It's the same dialogue I already read. Mr. Payne, which is still fucked up and funny. Fuck. Oh, I can do both. I see. Kale, I've already looked at... Oh. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it because of the basketball hoop, sir. Reminds me, Mr. Portman had actually wanted room 202 really badly, but since they're right. Okay, so that's everything here. Back. Can I investigate my door? Or until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Really? Don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door was really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. White, they think. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Okay, that was the one bit I was missing. Got it. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the... Oh. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it! That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me, too. All right, Spider-Man. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Cool. March 14th, 5:12 a.m. I prosecutor's office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman, I'm finished processing the bloody letter, sir. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. What the fuck are we doing? Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Go what? Ow! Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It is no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job. I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? Don't you dare bring up his name. The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Don't fucking talk about him. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself and sucking my dick. Alright, sorry. I felt like I hadn't said any actual commentary for a second. I needed something. Although, that too will only dig your hole deeper. Right after the statement of sucking my dick. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Wink, wink, Portsman. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you have yet to prove anything. I'll do it right fucking now, watch me. Mr. Portsman's rebuttal. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Talk about it then. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. I already... come on now. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusations on with evidence. And sick music. Yeah, okay, hold on. There's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask, do you think I unlocked the door? So, where is it specifically? Miss Bird says she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob. Master key, I guess, would be the... Like, I know what it is. I refuse to lose a point for this. Hold on. I refuse to lose a point for this. I know what the answer is. I just don't know how I'm supposed to do. Like this, I guess?
Objection!
Okay, yeah, it is the master key. Haha, you stupid bitch. I believe you were able to open the office door. With the master key, no less. Objection! What are you talking? Wait, hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right, you used your finger to direct this person to open the door without... Really?
Take that!
Take that! You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know? But the room you had Miss Bird open at the time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. Yeah, because the basketball, right? I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet, if you had misled her to fool her into thinking... Oh. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Ha! And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide off pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression, that the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portman used to make Miss Bird think that it was his room? The basketball! Babbit ball.
Take that!
Because it was moved. What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building, which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a particular prosecutor. That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. So, I don't know where I got so. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Oh, really? Conjecture is a little off the racetrack, eh? Now I know you're spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. So he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. My jacket's not dirty, and my jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just watched it yesterday. Please calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Alright, let me see if any of this is like... Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. I think I do, actually. I think I do, but I'm not going down for this. Present. I think I very much do, actually.
Objection!
Well, you win some, you lose some, as Portsman said, like, a few while ago. Okay. I think then I just press, because it's a 4-statement. It's a 4-statement testimony. I feel like it needs to be at least 5 for it to be like you present. Nonsense, you say. Yes, because I'm telling the truth here. That was it. Great. Had the girl open my office door. Using the master key, of course. Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. And that After that, I was in my room the entire time. Oh. And what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regimen. Training regimen? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. Wow, you must be the buffest prosecutor we have. The weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so no, I know what it is. Shut up. It's this, because there's a note being like, hey, you were out. No. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How was that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door, or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Ah! I shall explain it in full Oh. Stupid. Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you. Objection! That's just nonsense. You have no evidence that I made the girl open your door for me. Oh, but I do. I have very decisive evidence. No way! This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. Where's that evidence? Wait, give me a sec. Sitting in front of Portman's over there, signs of it being moved. That's the wrong button. Body was... Miss Bird says she unlocked this door, but her prints were not found on the doorknob.
Take that!
Question mark? Okay, there it is. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Yuck! Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charades? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out, possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Oh, and there's the thing of him killing him. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him! And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office! Oh, we're going Insano style already, alright. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints? Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that doorknob down well. Huh? I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying that you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse.
Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? I don't like you. Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. Can't prove they didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? Oh, tell us it so I can immediately dismantle it. I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. All right, tell me it so I can immediately dismantle it. Portsman's alibi. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? And it was then that you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe? Sir, yes, sir! I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m. You see? I don't fucking buy it. All of the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. And we're about to fucking find it with my rebuttal, dickhead. Memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? Press it. You were correct, it was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with that time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And that's all we got from that. Because then you had the unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. It was as you say, however. Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see. Oh, come on now. I thought I was gonna say, come on. Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh, well, doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. Exact time I was down in criminal affairs.
Hold it!
So you paid the criminal affairs department a visit? Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around, I'm sure the other detective... Really? Okay, hold on. 2 a.m., am I correct? Is there some... What does the autopsy say? The body was found around 2:05. We don't have an autopsy? Oh my fucking god, we don't have an autopsy. Oh, we don't have any evidence either that really... Ask around.
Hold it!
Well, we did go ask around to confirm your testimony, and it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around the time. See, I have a perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Ugh. Possible he actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. Going off the rails of the crazy train. You there!
Sir!
Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can cast doubt on his alibi? Okay, let's find out. Let me logic. I need to calmly think this through one more time. And with logic. Okay, well, obviously that. Files in display, the culprit, another handgun. The fuck are we talking about? What the fuck? The culprit rearranged my files twice, once before and once after the murder. Why? Other than the victim's gun that I found, could there be another gun in play here? Oh man, I mean, my options are between these two. It's a 50-50. I don't get either. The intruder I met
The intruder I met could not have been Portsman. Who could it have been? Another handgun, I think. Was it? What? That doesn't make sense. I thought it was... Okay, so when I clicked the another handgun, my thought process is, well, was the guy we met actually not Portsman, Faith? But that don't make no damn sense! There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket, which is a much bigger issue. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it's entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid me a visit that night, another visitor. Maybe the victim and his killer weren't the only visitors in my office tonight. Well, I mean, that's the fucking connection, yeah? Like, we ain't got nothing else and it's forcing me to do it, so yeah, I imagine. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were appended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit. Who was the owner of the second gun? If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back...
Objection!
Objection! Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumption regarding this case. Great, you finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth? Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I'd assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But, sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And that means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird, I almost said bride for some reason, Miss Bird, and gained entry into my office. Objection! Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Duh! Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me. Which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? Probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Oh, that was Bird. Oops. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then did the deed. He killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Thinky. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen Zero files, right, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. And they put the gun to my back, and I was like, what the hell, bro? The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. Second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
So the shelves getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times.
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief, and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit. Objection! We for real?
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid! Your scenario explains everything!
Of course it does! It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all!
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right, it would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. Fucking pick if you want the thing on or not. But there's still one defining point of your argument, of which you have no evidence. Your supposition is that I was the first visitor.
Sedgworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir!
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this! Don't worry, Maggie, I'll do something if I must.
You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Alright, let's go. Let's do this then. Portsman's Alibi Part 2. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at the criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Okay. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course! Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. It's not very hard to fucking gather that. I mean, he bites his coin every second I tell him that he's full of shit. Someone who's not guilty wouldn't do that. Anyways, I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Alright, let's get it. Portsman Alibi Part 2. Thief ran into should be a real suspect when she said, let's just press everything. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the Zero files, right?
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup, and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Really? All we had to do was press him and he gets all freaked out? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I don't believe you. I mean, duh. Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh? You talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. Hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was in the training. I was training in my room. But according to Mr. Faith's note, hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that he left it at a different time, say, just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. You see? So I insist again that I was in my office the entire time. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, which we've already confirmed. Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. He brought 2 items, a gun and a pendant that are related to yesterday's case. I brought 3 aha!
Objection!
That's not what he said! Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. Ooh, wait. Ooh. I don't think I've heard this, or I haven't heard it in a while, at least. That's crazy. That's nice. What are you talking about? I haven't heard anything from you. Well, here's a piece of I think you should read. Carefully. It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by a simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe? You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. Yeah. Don't come any closer. I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Cool, so what do we find? Hey, what's this? What do we find? He had this on him, sir. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one real reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail. For the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin. KG8 the incident. The KG8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough look over. Oh, would that be it? I don't know. Let's look around. Let's see if there's anything. Nope, it doesn't seem like there's anything else. I think that's it. I think the blood. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find out the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video.
Yeah, it's totally suspicious.
Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if I were to examine this tape for fingerprints. Why, you didn't think of that? You really are a bad prosecutor. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible! Oh, he ate his medal. That face! Anyway, so we got it.
March 14th, 5:47 a.m., High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back, and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. Still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies. Oh, it was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean. Consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about how some of the evidence he used is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And he tried to use that on me? What the fuck? He tried to use that as like a, hey, you were with Manfred, right? A lot of things happened with him, like forged evidence and stuff. You wouldn't know anything about that. Hey, he was the one forging evidence. What a cocky piece of shit. And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Ooh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason for the breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although, we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes. Oh, well. Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? That Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance of this piece of evidence. That...
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wondered who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages. I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It's the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief Yatagarasu. Oh. Under the mark of the legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Though we don't know much about the thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence, and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is set forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look! Something's written on the back! What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. And we'll find out what those 2 days ago were next time. Smile. All right. Yes, I'd like to save my progress. Yay, Turnabout Visitors finished. Now we're going to go on Turnabout Airlines. I know about that one. All right, let's look at it. Oh, yeah. I forgot she was there. All right, anyways. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that either. New items unlocked in the gallery. What? Warning, this gallery contains spoilers. Well, let's not do that then. Let's not look at there. All right. I'm going to close the game. That was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm going to do the YouTube outro now. I could probably just do, like, Dual Destinies, I guess. Sure. Video on the top right is when I played Dual Destinies, like, yesterday. In case you want to see me play other Ace Attorney games. The thing on the bottom right, YouTube picked that one out for you specifically. I had no say in it, so if they're wrong, it wasn't me, not my fault. The thing by me is the subscribe. Please click it. That'd be really nice of you. Okay, bye.